All right, we're gonna get started. Okay, with the comments that were made on my YouTube short. For Election Day, I posted a bunch of shots from my old press portfolio of politicians from both sides of the aisle, and I ended it with just a little message that said, vote against fascism. And people lost their minds, and the best comment I got, what kind of little political war are you fighting? This is just propaganda. And I would submit to you that if you are offended by someone saying vote against fascism, you might be a piece of shit fascist. We're gonna come out swinging today because I am without the civilizing influence of a pipe to smoke because it's winter and I'm sick. Welcome to the Sunday Antisocial, that time when I would normally smoke my pipe and complain about humanity while answering all of its questions. I am leaving Twitter. I know no one cares here because there's no cross-pollination between YouTube and Twitter for me, but I've been on Twitter for 13 years and Elon Musk, that's what. I'm not going to be on a platform with Donald Trump. We're not going to share a space where we talk as equals. That's not going to happen. I was going to wait until he was actually reinstated, but then Elon put up this poll that says, hey, should we reinstate? Fuck you, man. Fuck you. Like, you can't shift the blame to the users of Twitter. So I thought I would bring a little bit of that spirit over here and just say, before you leave a comment on my YouTube content, and a lot of the reason, I think you could read between the lines and see this, but a lot of the reason I don't put up a lot of content here anymore, y'all, is because of the quality and spirit of the comments that I get in return. And I put up shots of Obama and Mitt Romney, and what I get is like, are you voting for the party of sexual immorality? Have you met Donald Trump? You want to talk to me about sexual immorality? Like, you're the party of pedophiles. Okay, whatever. Stop leaving these comments on my channel. If you don't want to hang out with someone who is open to people of all shapes, sizes, persuasions, whatever, as long as they're consenting adults, this is not the channel for you. All right, that's taken care of. No, it's not taken care of. I recorded that Saturday morning, Saturday night. A gunman went into a gay club in Colorado and killed 5 people and wounded scores more. Reputable sources in the media claim that this person, we don't know a lot about them, but this person appears to be the grandson of a MAGA politician from California. I don't want to talk about this. This is not what I'm here to talk about. I made an entire video with the intro you just saw that then went on to tell you about more content that I would have released that is pipe smoking, fishing, and photography content. That's what my channel is about. But that's not what we're going to talk about right now. So today I want to speak straight to the members of my audience that leave comments on my videos about gay people. I don't really know who you are because I delete most of your comments so that you don't embarrass yourselves. But you know who you are. You're the people that you're so fired up about this issue that you comment on a YouTube channel about pipes and fishing and photography that only has 2,000, 3,000 subs. I don't even know how many subs I have. That's how seriously I don't take this. I'm nobody. Why are you talking to me about this? But since you are talking to me, let's talk. I'm gonna assume that your flagrant hate for gay people comes from some sort of religious place. And my father was a minister, and I don't go to church often since he died, but I went yesterday because someone that I've known for 12 years offed himself, and I went to his celebration of life, and there I heard the first good sermon I have heard since my father died. And so I am here to witness to you because you seem to take me so seriously. I am bringing the message to you that God wants you to stop hating people. As far as I know, my father was a lifelong Republican. I don't really know because we never talked about politics, because I was always taught that what's important is that you love your neighbor. Not only that, I was a lifelong, I won't say Republican, I was a lifelong conservative until these latter days when I realized that people who call themselves conservative are willing to abandon everything they say they believe in if they just get a pass to hate people. I don't understand how there are still so many of you. I don't get it. How can you idolize the words on a page when the meaning of those words is entirely contradictory to the way that you're acting? I don't care if you're religious, I don't care if you're not religious, but since this seems to be coming from a religious place, the balance of all of the enduring world religions is anti-evolutionary behavior, right? It is to save us from ourselves because we are an incredibly well-adapted species and we're really good at doing what we do, and there needs to be some sort of influence to tone that down before we all eat each other. That is the message of Christ. Hey, you've got it good. You're civilized. You don't need these laws about washing your hands. You need to not eat each other. Christ is saying, maybe don't get caught up in the details of a 2,000-year-old book. And by the way, speaking of the Old Testament, from his point of view of a 2,000-year-old book, maybe the law should not be abolished but fulfilled. Maybe we're past that. Maybe we can work on bigger things like loving each other. But you guys are hung up on that one thing. I don't understand it. You're not hung up on mixing fibers. You're not hung up on tattoos. You're not hung up on, I don't know, the innumerable sexual immoralities that happen among straight people. You're not hung up on Matt Gaetz or Roy Moore. You're hung up on consenting adults that are of the same sex having sex. Why? What are you so afraid? I don't understand why it's that issue, why that's the issue. What is it about you that can't get past that issue? And you say, oh, well, they attacked traditional marriage. Exactly what kind of tradition? Like, what about, like, I don't know, a man and his 10 concubines? Is anybody attacking that kind of traditional marriage? Well, it's about the sin and the pride. Have you ever seen a murder pride parade? Yes, I have. Well, Gribbs, it's the gay agenda. Have you ever met a gay person? Do you know gay people in your life? Because I've known several, and they're all at least as I was talking to Les Brady about this not too long ago. All the gay people I know, with the exception of a couple, are at least as disorganized as I am, because in spite of all the problems I have had in my life, they've had more because people like you persecute them. The gay agenda, well, they sent drag queens into the schools. Maybe that's a little bit better than sending shooters into your schools. Because if I were to look at a summation of my adult life since I graduated high school, yeah, I would have to look at all the school shootings and say, this kind of is a murder pride parade. Now let's just assume for a second that you're right, and that your uneducated version of religion is the correct one, and queers are gonna burn, and I as an ally will burn with them. Let's just assume. I still don't understand why you care. I was with people yesterday that know more pain and more questioning than you will ever know in your little ignorant closet. And we read Psalm 104, which is all about how God created the fundament, God rose the land above the waters, and the waters trickled down and they fed all the animals. And in the midst of that, why should you fear? Now, since leaving journalism and leaving civic life and running away to the woods, I have seen a lot of waters trickling down from mountains. And I am here to tell you that before you leave hateful comments on my channel or anywhere else, and certainly before you take those hateful comments to people that might be the most vulnerable to them, you need to climb up on one of those mountains in the middle of a clear night. And you need to look up at the universe and ask yourself if the entity that created it gives a shit where you put your dick, as long as everybody is a consenting adult. Can everyone be forgiven for the impulses that God writ in their very personality? Can you be forgiven for those impulses? Keep the ends out for the ties that bind.